to religion. Well, that might be true in some ways. I hope in this class, though, I've sensitized you to the ways that that's not true. But if we're looking at it at this situation in terms of kind of a class-religion link-up, then it could be true that religious activity is a way to kind of protect or to express kind of status worries and status anxieties in terms of economics and political power. Now, following this argument about status out, we've got this classic book, which I assigned for your critical reading assignment. I assigned a part of it, called American Mainline Religion by Roof and McKinney. And on page 110, got this terrific, let me get my remote here. This terrific chart, which that's not my remote, that's my phone. Do you ever have that problem? Okay, here's the remote. This terrific chart, which is the bread and butter of so much sociology, right? Is to just have a cool chart like this. You've got two time periods, basically time period 1, time period 2. You got the exact same, or for the most part, the same religious groups. And what Roof and McKinney are trying to figure out is they've got 3 divisions, kind of upper class, middle class, lower class, of the people. These are the status positions of the people who are in this religious groups. And they say, well, if the status positions of people in this religious groups are changing between the 2 time period, then the status positions of the religious groups are changing. So, take a look at this page 110, and you can see, as they articulate in the second half of the article, some really interesting changes between the middle of the century and the 1980s in terms of where religious groups are on this status chart here. And what I would encourage you for your paper that's due tomorrow is to get a sense of what are some of the explanations of why some groups seem to have moved up, why it seems that the middle class and the lower class religious groups are becoming a lot more similar. Roof and McKinney talk about that, to try and articulate that in your reading and see what you can make of that. So I don't want to say too much about more there because I don't want to steal your thunder. I like seeing you thinking through these critical reading assignments. And then finally, let me introduce Friday's reading. Friday's reading is from this terrific little book called Habitat for Humanity, Building Private Homes, Building Public Religion by Jerome Baggett. Cool little book where he basically studies Habitat for Humanity groups across the United States, looking at how religion matters for the way Habitat for Humanity does its work, how it matters for the volunteers, how it matters for the homeowners, i.e. the people who receive homes that are being built by Habitat volunteers. And the chapter that I assigned, or the reading that I assigned for Friday, it's a little longish, and you can actually skim the first 5 pages if you want. But basically, Baggett asked the question, how is it that in this overtly religious, this generally Christian organization, in which many of the volunteers come from religious groups or from religious motivations to do good, to help out, how is it that even despite those good motivations, we get real kind of fractures in the relationships between volunteers and homeowners? Basically between people who tend to be often very different economic status, different racial status, different social status. How is it that these fractures occur between these groups of people despite good intentions? So religion is a little bit in the background in the story, except that this is a religious organization. Many of the volunteers are religious, and they're religiously motivated in terms of the goals that they have to build homes and to make a difference for people that don't have homes in this country. But Baggett really kind of looks a little deeper to see what are the dynamics that are going on in these groups between the volunteers and the people who are receiving homes. So I'll have a question up soon for you on that I look forward to your answers on. That's it for now. I rushed this lecture a little bit, that way I can kind of cram it into as few clips as possible. I'll continue to read those online submissions closely, take a look at your critical reading assignments due tomorrow, and then next week gets all sorts of exciting with the election. And I will, as I said, I'll be doing some changes on the readings there. I'll make those clear on the website. I actually loosen up the reading a little bit for next week. Okay, hope you're well. Please let me know if you have any questions as you get started on your final paper. which I will be posting instructions on either today or tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.